Morning, everyone. I guess we'll get started right now. Thank you, everybody, for joining us for our webinar. We are excited to share a lot of good information with everybody on call today. Just a little brief, I'll start off with telling, my name's Pinky Advani. I guess I've had the pleasure to work with some of you. For those of you who don't know me, I am the Senior Business Development Manager for Arlington Transportation Partners, and I will be your co-host today for today's webinar. Along with me, the host of the webinar today is Katie Thompson, my colleague, and of course, we will be hearing from Al Watson from WMATA. So just before we begin the webinar, I just thought it would be nice to give you a brief introduction about Arlington Transportation Partners, specifically for those who are not too familiar with ATP. Arlington Transportation Partners is a program of Arlington County commuter services under Arlington's Department of Environmental Services that provides free and complimentary transportation consulting to businesses in Arlington County, focusing on telework, biking, walking, carpooling, van pooling, and transit. So we are essentially Arlington County's business-to-business transportation consultants. I just thought it would be nice to just introduce ATP before we dive into today's webinar. And before we get started, just thought I would mention a few housekeeping notes. All participants are placed on mute. So, everybody is muted. While we would love to see you, having your camera on is not mandatory. It's up to you. If you want to keep your camera on, surely keep it on. If not, that's fine too. This webinar is being recorded, and we will be sharing this webinar link once it's posted on our website with everybody. Slides will be available for downloading. And lastly, we will be having time for question and answers towards the end. However, if you feel like while the webinar is going on and you think of a question that you want to ask, feel free to put it in the chat box, and we will definitely be answering those questions at the end of the webinar. So if you have a question for ATP or WMATA, please feel free to put in the chat box, and we'll make sure that we answer all those questions. Next slide. So today's agenda. So as employees return to the office in a full-time or hybrid schedule, employers need to adjust their policies and benefits to accommodate the new and changing needs of the employees. So today's webinar, we will be discussing easy steps to restarting and revisiting your commuter benefits. So just a brief overview of what's in today's agenda. We're going to start with introducing our team, the employer services team. And we're going to share some information about the regional updates and safety protocols implemented by all transit providers. And then we're going to have a conversation with Al Watson from WMATA, who will be sharing insights on smart benefits, as well as providing us an overview about the upcoming blue and yellow line shutdown. Then we'll be sharing information about steps to restart your commuter benefits. And in the end, of course, we will be ending it with the resources, ATP resources, customized resources that are available to you as an Arlington County employer. Next slide. So meet our team. So Marie Cox is our program director for the employer services team. The employer services team works with all employers in Arlington County, offering complimentary customized resources and solutions to enhance and implement commuter programs to make commuting easy for your employees. So as I mentioned, Marie Cox, the program director, and that's me, Pinky Advani, the Senior Business Development Manager. I work with some of you on call. I work essentially with clients in Clarendon, Virginia Square, Ballston, and then I also work with employers in South Arlington, but specifically employers who have an employee count of 200 or less. That's under my portfolio. And then at this time, I would like to introduce you to my colleague Katie Thompson, who is also the co-presenter for today's webinar.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Pinky, for that introduction, and thank you, everyone, for joining us today. I am the Employer Service Business Development Managers for companies who have workplaces in the Roslyn and Courthouse area, and I'm also expanding my portfolio to work with clients in South Arlington with 200 employees or more. So, and I'd also like to introduce our guest presenter, Al Watson, the Senior Business Account Representative with WMATA. Al has a wealth of information on providing assistance to those interested in hosting their commuter benefits over WMATA's Smart Benefits platform. And he will also cover, as he mentioned, the Yellow Blue Line construction project set to start off on September 10th. Al, would you like to say a few words?
Yes, I would. I'd like to say thank you to Arlington Transportation Partners for inviting me to be a part of this webinar. I've worked with Pinky, Maria, and now you, Katie, for several years. And it's just a privilege and an honor to be a part of this. And hopefully I can provide some insight into the Smart Benefits program and Yellow and Blue Line Shutdown. So thank you for letting me be a part of this.
And thank you, Al, for joining us. So I'll just start off with talking about some safety protocols. So some people are understandably anxious about resuming their commutes, but given the increased gas prices and inflations, many are looking into public transits or van pooling to resume their daily activities and their commute. So our transit providers around the region have done their due diligence in ensuring their riders are safe and healthy. So reading an article by Columbia University's Irving Medical Center, they highlighted the importance of anchoring our discussion in data as much as possible. And that's something that ATP is very, fond of and we love to do is data-driven conversations. So there have been several studies that have looked into the risk of getting COVID-19 from public transportation, and these studies have shown that there is not where this is not where transmission is happening, and there is no evidence that there is an increased risk associated with public transportation. And so while face coverings are optional now, I can attest as I ride the public transit that many people are still riding with their face masks on, and with a proper air circulation, plus the fresh air coming in every time the doors are opened, metro and buses have remained safe in healthy areas that reduce the risk of spread in COVID-19 and aerosols. So additionally, WMATA has worked to add real-time crowding information on buses and metro trains. They have also enhanced their cleaning protocols on public transit of all local and regional services, and this has been an option and in service since the start of the pandemic, and they've continued to do so. Passengers are still requested to remain 6 feet apart wherever possible on local and regional buses. Additionally, hand sanitizers are available at all metro stations. And all registrants will receive this one-pager after the webinar detailing the safety protocols, transit services from WMATA to VRE and even Zipcar and Capital Bike Share, and what they've put in place to keep their riders safe and healthy. While it's been a start, since been a while since this, since 2020, the transit providers in the region are still committed to enhancing disinfection of their equipment and keeping both riders and their workers safe. So we'll go over just 2 quick regional updates before I pass it on to Al. So VRE will be offering free rides in September, which is perfect to help with the blue and yellow line shutdown. So starting on September 10th, this project will be in progress all the way until May. And the region has worked hard to also provide alternative options for those who will be impacted by this. And I will pass it on to Al now to talk about this and the updates to Smart Benefits. So Al, I'll let you take it away and click over to your slides.
All right, thank you, Katie, very much. And again, thank you and welcome to all the participants. And some of you, I can't see you, but I'm sure there's some of you, at least 1 or 2, that I work with in the Virginia area, because that's my territory in Smart Benefits. This is a refresher. So if you have questions about how to create categories, how to reassign benefits, how to view the current order, or any of those things, you can ask me those questions later. I don't want to bore you with that information that you already know. So I'm going to give you some updates as it regards to the smart benefits as your employees come back to work. Next slide. One of the things that we began doing last year in 2021 is installing new fare gates in all of the rail stations. We started this in approximately, I believe it was June or July of last year. And you may have even seen these as you ride this in the system, the rail station. The new fare gates open faster than the brown military type gates that were there before. It has a larger, easier to read display that let you see your fare in terms of what it costs you and where the entry sign is. The exit entry is brighter, it's easier to read and to see as you come in and out. And as I said, we started this back in June or July of last year, and we're pretty much wrapping up the installation of all of these new fare gates. And this is in all the Metro Rail system. And these new fare gates, as I'm going to talk about, only use the new Smart Trip card, not the old generation Smart Trip card. So we can advance to the next slide. I'll talk about that right now. First generation Smart Trip card. If any of your employees have a Smart Trip card that does not begin with 0167, let me repeat, that does not begin with 0167, they will need to replace their Smart Trip card. If their Smart Trip card begins with 0020 or 0000 followed by 6 digits, they will need to replace their Smart Trip card. Now, we have Smart Trip cards that are virtual on an Apple iPhone or an Android that begins with 0176, as you can see there to the right, or an Android that begins with 017. Those are acceptable, that will work on the new fare gates. So there's 3 series of numbers that we're really talking about. If you have a Smart Trip card begin with 0167, and you can find the number on the back of your Smart Trip card, usually in the lower right corner, that will tell you what the serial number is. If you have one of those numbers, you're fine, it will work. Or if you have a virtual Smart Trip card, 0176, that it begins with a 0177, you're fine. If you have anything else beyond those 3 numbers, then the Smart Trip card will need to be replaced. And let's go to the next slide. The first generation Smart Trip card replacement process. Card replacement timing for smart benefit participants. And some of this information has been out there, or we've had these refreshers for some time now, PowerPoints. So let me just read through some of this. Smart benefits online, self-service card replacement started 30 days before the first station was converted. So that was first installed, the first gate was installed probably back in July of last year or June. Once it's open to smart benefits, which it has now, replacements will be limited to cards tapped within 7 days. And the reason for that is because we wanted to limit the restrictions in terms of the cards that are being tapped and will be able to be replaced, okay? No mail-in replacement options for smart benefits. You can only do this online. Participant action, these are your employees. They should update their Smart Trip card email address. They have a Smart Trip account. They should log on to their account and make certain that their address, their email address is current and correct so that they can receive the notifications that will be sent out or have been sent out. They should obtain and register a replacement card ahead of time as they prepare to come back to work. They want to make certain they have a first generation, or excuse me, they've replaced their first generation Smart Trip card, if they have one, with the Smart Trip card that begins again with 0167. If it's an actual Smart Trip card, or if it's a virtual Smart Trip card, 0176 is for an Apple iPhone, or 0177 if it's a Android Smart Trip card on an Android phone. They can get the card by going online. They can go to our website, WMATA.com, and they can purchase a smart chip card. You can buy the actual card, plastic smart chip card, in the rail station at the vending machine. Some retailers sell the smart chip cards, or they can buy a virtual card on their iPhone or Android phone. Once they get the card, they then want to do the replacement process and click the link there and follow the prompts and email notifications to transfer their funds from their actual smart chip card to their virtual smart chip card if they have one, or to their new smart chip card once they receive that. One of the things that we're asking employers to do for their employees is to educate them about this whole process. If they have an old card, what they should do to get a new smart chip card. What we don't want is for someone to have an old card as they come back to the office or start commuting on Metro Rail, and have an old card and tap their card and not able to access the system because the card is now old, it won't work. The employees can actually receive a new card, transfer both their transit benefit, if they have transit rollover benefits, and parking benefits from the old card to the new card, and also transfer any personal stored value funds from the old card to the new card. Now, employers, as always, can still transfer the transit benefits and parking benefits, but what you can't do as an employer, you can't transfer the personal money from the old card to the new card. So we advise here at Metro to ask your employees to log into their smart trip account once they receive the new card and transfer their monies from their old card to the new card. And when they do that, one, they know it's done. And then two, the money becomes available faster by them doing it as opposed to you doing that. If you transfer as an employer money from an old card to a new card, normally if you do it one day, like today, those funds become available on the next day. Next slide. One of the things that we want to be mindful of in the system is what we call Ketchup rollover benefits. And I'm gonna go through that. Number one, bullet item number one, issued to rollover participants who have not tapped their smart chip card in one or more calendar months after March 2020, while their benefit status was enrolled. What this means is COVID-19 began around March or April of 2020, over 2 years ago now, and a lot of us were quarantined and told to stay home. That means we may have had rollover benefits on those employees' smart chip card, and they have not used their card for 30 days or more, maybe a year, 2 years. So what we're doing is we're asking them to tap their card prior to coming into the system to update their card so that they can access those benefits that are still sitting there waiting for them to be used. Balance adjusted for retrieved transactions. If you've gone in and retrieved employees' benefits for whatever the reason may be, maybe you're retrieving benefits because they received benefits, maybe they weren't authorized to receive, then you can retrieve those benefits. Sending emails encouraging participants to tap their cards to load their Ketchup rollover. And that's kind of what I was saying before. If they have not tapped their card in 2 years prior to commuting into the office, they'll want to go to the rail station. They don't have to go to the gate. They can go to the vending machine and go to the one with the blue front that has the smart trip target. They can just tap their card, hit cancel transaction. That'll update their card in the system. Expire, remove, and retrieve process. Remove and retrieve auto loads expire after 30 days. What that means is if you've removed someone out of your smart benefit account or you've retrieved some benefits, that retrieve function expires if the employee has not tapped their card in 30 days or more. Expire, remove, automatically reissue when the card benefit balance drops below the back-end balance. And we know what that back-end balance is. Expire, retrieve will reissue and adjust card balances as participants start writing again. So as employees start to arrive, the system is the key. Before they come in, if you've retrieved benefits, if you've removed someone out of the system, it's critically important for them in preparation to begin their commute again, to tap their card prior to using the card at the gate. So as they come into the office on the Metro, go to the vending machine first, tap their card, hit cancel transaction, that will update their card in the system, and then go to the gate. I want to say it'd be better if they could do that maybe a day or two before they actually commute, but I know in some cases that may not be convenient to go to the rail station just to tap your card. So I would say if they can do that, that's what's preferred. But if they can't, go to the machine first, tap that card, and then go to the gate to ride the system as they go down to the platform. Also, since maybe your employees were commuting back in 2020, as I mentioned before, we now have virtual smart chip cards along with the actual plastic smart chip cards. We have the Apple smart chip card virtual on an Apple iPhone. And you can tell the numbers are different based on the serial numbers. If the employee gives you a serial number that begins with 0176, you know that's a virtual smart chip card on an iPhone. We also have it on the Android, and those numbers start off 0177. That's a virtual smart chip card on an iPhone or a virtual smart chip card on an Android phone. And of course, an actual smart chip card begins 0167. So 0167 is an actual card, 0176 is virtual on an iPhone, and 0177 is a virtual smart chip card on the Android. When you go to the gate on the metro or parking, you don't actually have to tap it directly in contact with the target. You can find that sweet spot, as we like to call it here at Metro, and come within an inch or less and just find that area where it scans and it beeps, and you know the card has now processed that, and you can learn as you use that card on your device where that spot is, and it beeps, the gates open, you go through, take your ride. As you exit, you do the same thing, come within a few inches of that target, tap it, it subtracts the fee from the smart chip card, the virtual smart chip card on that iPhone. Next slide. One of the things that we try to make clear is the balance on the smart chip card. And this started in October of 2020, almost 2 years ago. And let me explain. On the smart chip card, at the fare gate and the vending machines, you can see now the total balance of the transit benefit plus the stored value. Before COVID, you couldn't. We had it separated. And we'll have a couple of examples. At the parking gate, as I have here, it gives you a total of all parking benefits plus stored value, or you can see all transit benefit plus stored value. Let's look at example number one. The card has $5 for grace period. Grace period is monies that Metro gives back to a participant or an employee who walks in the Metro station and taps their card, and then within 10 minutes or less, they turn around and walk out. They're charged for that entry and exit, and maybe that costs them $5. If you do that within 10 minutes or less, Metro gives you that money back the next month. Well, that was a big problem before COVID, because before you use your transit benefits, if you had transit benefit, you would see that return refund credit and didn't realize you had your $200 or whatever it was transit benefit. So we fixed that. So in this example, this card has $5 of grace refund for grace period, plus $200 in transit benefits, $50 in parking benefits, and $10 on stored value. The old way, the $5 credit was displayed, which means we receive calls, even I receive calls, Al, where's my money? I only have $5. I am supposed to have 200. It's there, it's just that the 200 won't be used until the $5 is used. So to clarify this, in the new way, we show you now you have 215 in transit. That means $5 for your grace period credit, plus 200 for your transit benefits and $10 for your stored value. 5 plus 200 plus 10 gives you 215. The same thing works for parking. The old way, you have $45 displayed. It shows $50 for parking, the fee for riding or parking your car was $5, it'll subtract 5, leaving you 45. The new way shows you have $50 for parking plus the $10 for transit is 60 minus $5 for parking leaves you $55. The old way, we didn't show that stored value money there. Now you see everything in one lump sum, your transit benefits or parking benefits along with your stored value money, whatever that stored value benefit is. Hopefully that's not too confusing to anyone. Next slide. Just some reminders. I'm not doing Q&A here. We're going to do that on the back end at the end of the webinar. But just some reminders I wanted to let you be mindful of. Pay attention to your deadlines. Before COVID, the deadline was always the 15th. When COVID hit back in 2020, in April, I believe it was, there were so many people needing more time to remove people, place people on hold, maybe even enroll people. So we extended the deadline from the 15th to make changes to the 21st. And that's the way it's been so far. I can't say how long that will stay, but it'll probably be there for a little while longer, maybe for the rest of this year and maybe, who knows, until next year. But you have each month between the 1st of the month through the 21st of the month to make any changes. Changes meaning you want to add somebody in your system, which is actually bullet item number 2. You want to remove someone, you want to put someone on hold, you want to add somebody new in the system. Those are the kind of changes that must be made by the 21st of each month, Eastern Standard Time. Changes made, let's say this month in August, become effective next month in September. If you're a new administrator, you want to be certain to update your point of contact. Every so often, we will send out a blast or a big email to all of our smart benefit participants or administrators. And oftentimes we'll get a return email undeliverable because the email address on file is not correct. So when you get a chance, you want to make certain that we have your correct email address, your name, your phone, your fax, and to make certain that that is correct. Once you log into your account, you simply go to account admin, click on modify account. That will take you to the customer information screen. And there you'll see displayed on the left-hand side of the screen, the business name, the address, the city, the state, the zip code. It'll show the point of contact, the phone, fax, and email. If any of that information is not correct, you simply delete out any of the old information, type in the new information, and then click the Save Customer Detail button at the bottom of the window. If you do not see that Save button, that means that you're logging into your Smart Benefit account as a sub-user. You're not logging in as a main user. Only the main user can update the point of contact information I just described. If you need to know what the main user ID login is, you can contact me. You can send me an email and I'll look that up and just say you're the main administrator. Maybe you've been logging as a sub-user and didn't know it. And I'll look that up, research that, and email you back that information. Next slide. We are here to help. We have various ways that we can provide support. We have an online customer support and FAQ that you can click on and gather information. We have Smart Benefits web app. We have videos. We have documentation. We have a 26 or 27 page Smart Benefits administration user guide that you can read through that has screenshots and has explanation on how to remove someone, how to reassign benefits, how to view the Smart benefits claim report, how to view the current order, how to view the current order history, how to view the employee list, how to download the employee list in Excel. It's a wealth of information there. We also have Smart Trip customer support. If employers need help, and I'm speaking mainly to the Smart Benefit administrators that are on this call, you simply call the number that's there, 202-962-1326. When you call the number, you want to be certain you have your Smart Benefits account number. That customer ID number starts off 05 followed by digits. Just give us that number and we can look up your account and they'd be ready to provide you any assistance or resolve any questions that you may have. For your employees, have them call this number, 1-888-SMART-TRIP, or it's 1-888-762-7874, 1-888-762-7874, or 1-888-SMART-TRIP. When the employees call, and normally when they call, it's because they cannot access their benefits. Maybe their card needs to be refreshed, or maybe they've used up all their benefits and didn't know it, or whatever the issue may be. Employees should be calling this number, not calling you. Have them call our call center, and our call center is standing ready and able and willing to help them with whatever questions they may have. If all fails through the phone, you can always email smarttrip@wmata.com between 7 a.m. and 8 p.m. Monday through Fridays. I am the Smart Benefits account rep, and I'm more than willing and able to help you. My name is there, my email address, just like my name, alwatson@wmata.com. I believe this is the last slide. Next slide. Yes, it is. I want to thank you again for your time and for listening to me provide just some updates on the Smart Benefit Program, and we'll take questions at the end. What I want to do now is go to the website, if Katie will allow me to share my screen, so that I can give you just some information on the blue yellow line shutdown. Am I good to go, Katie?
Absolutely, yeah. We
Okay.
can take over and share your screen.
Okay, give me just a quick second. Okay.
Perfect, and we can see it.
Okay, great. I'm at our Metro website, WMATA.com. When you go there, it's going to bring you right here to the Metro homepage. And we have a lot of information regarding this. When you get to the Metro homepage, you're going to scroll down. You'll see the Metro train here right below this. It's going to say fall travel alternative for major blue and yellow line construction. You want to click the link right here that says read more. When you click that link, it's going to take you to a page that Metro has dedicated just for this information regarding the blue and yellow line construction this fall and other things that you may not have interest in, but you may. And it gives you information here. My suggestion is once you come to this page, click this link right here. It says major blue and yellow line yellow line construction this fall. If you click that link, it's going to take you to another page. It's going to give you a little bit more information regarding the major blue and yellow line construction. And you can click one of these two, or you can come down here and get a project overview starting September 10th, 2022, just about a month from now. Metro's major blue and yellow line construction will rehabilitate the yellow line tunnel and bridges between Pentagon and LaFont Plaza. I'm not going to read through all of this, but you can read through this. There's the information here. If you click on this one, it gives you the timeline, September 10th through October 22nd of 2022. And then from September 10th of 22 through May 2023. And there's information on how you can stay connected if you want to sign up for the newsletter. So there's information here on the construction. You can also go to any of one of these two tabs. You click on this one for travel alternatives, or you can click on this one for read more. And if you click on this, it's going to take you to a fact sheet. It's going to give you a little bit more information. And there are 6 stations that are going to be closed starting on September the 10th. These 6 stations are Braddock, King Street, Van Dorn, Franconia, Springfield, Eisenhower, and Huntington. And if you scroll down, it gives you a little bit more information. If you come on down a little bit more, these 6 stations are the 6 stations that are just south of the Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport. Each place where you see a C that's closed Braddock, King Street, Eisenhower, Huntington, Van Dorn, and also Springfield. And it gives you express shuttle alternatives for those locations. And there's more information. So at the top, this is between September 10th through October 22nd of this year. And then down below, starting October 23rd of this year through May 23rd, it gives you more information on this, okay? If I go back, let's see. My screen just went away.
All right, thank you, Al. And I'll start sharing that presentation again. Leaving off kind of where you left off. And yeah, so as you can see, we have some contact information here. And if you want to work with Al directly, you can email him at alwatson@wamata.com, or you can reach out to your ATP rep and we can connect directly with Al. And so we wanted to break up this little switch between presentations with a bit of a poll. Bianca, could you put the poll up, please? Perfect. So we are seeing which commuting options are covered under transit benefits. So it's a multiple choice. You can choose any and all if you'd like. So I'll give a moment for people to answer the question. And while I have this moment, I'll, just cover some basic information about transit benefits, specifically that the IRS does determine when, on a yearly basis, how much transit benefits can be either pre-tax to the employee, directly given to the employee by the employer, or a combination of both. And in 2022, they raised it to $280. So there was a good increase, and we also always keep our clients up to date on when there is a change in that. So always be on the lookout. And I've noticed that there has been a slow, so I will end this poll and there and share the results. And so we can see that there is a good amount. Obviously, public transit is covered by our transit benefits. The ART bus is too, and so is vanpool. But carpool is not, and neither is capital bike share memberships. These are things that there are regional options for carpooling benefits, which we'll briefly touch over. And capital bike share membership has their own corporate membership that employers can join to provide their employees a reduced annual benefit. So yeah, we can go over this. And if you ever have any questions that want to be clarified, don't hesitate to reach out to your ATP rep, either me or Pinky. And so I've stopped sharing that, and I'll just go back to our presentation about restarting our benefits. So many companies in the area have frozen their commuter benefits accounts and are looking into restarting their benefits. Working with Arlington Transportation Partners, ATP, we will aid in restarting benefits by taking work off of your hands and helping you make the best decision based off of facts. So, I see that the poll is still showing. Oh, never mind. All good. Okay, so the best place to start though is with a survey. So this will help us to understand your employees' current expectations and needs. And working with your ATP rep, we can design, administer, and evaluate the survey results. We will also provide a report and present it to you and leadership with the results and solutions / actionable steps, focusing on restarting commuter benefits that best match the expectations of employees and balance with leadership goals of returning people to the office and keeping them safe. Plus, with changes in team members and where they live, or even where your workplace is located, a density plot map would be really useful to know where people are coming from. So a survey and density plot map is something your ATP rep can work with, and this would help to also create a more robust commuter benefits policy recommendations with real data. And so since it has been a while since the majority of us have consistently been going into the office, it is necessary to consider what's new. To keep you from searching endlessly online, we've done our due diligence at Arlington Transportation Partners and in keeping up on the regional programs, employee expectations, and trends. So for regional programs, Northern Virginia has been going above and beyond in ensuring that there are plenty of programs available to reduce the cost of commuting, especially those who are switching from vanpool to carpool. So regional benefits include when you're switching to vanpool, the Northern Virginia Transportation Commission or the Department of Rail and Public Transit will help to offset the cost of your vanpooling cost. Even there are some with carpooling. So if you have an employee that's interested in that, you can reach them, connect them with your ATP rep, and we can provide some information on those programs and help them match that up. Additionally, our sister program, Commute 66, has created Sustain and Save, a financial incentive program designed to help those driving on I-66 and paying tolls the opportunity to gain $100 each month when they switch to a sustainable commute option at least 8 days a month. So this program is operated and managed by Commute 66. This gives employees who join another commuter benefit, and it's free of cost and minimal time commitment on the employer side as Commute 66 reps will enroll individuals and help them find a sustainable commute and administer the monthly incentive. So all the employer has to do is pass on the pre-made promotion materials and any interested individuals to Commute 66, and they'll handle the rest. So if this is something interested to you, just reach out to your ATP rep. So, and I'm sure it's safe to say that we are all aware of how employee expectations have changed during the past 2 years, revolving around benefits, hybrid work schedules, and overall work-life balance. It's important to remember that commuter benefits are an investment into employees, and to balance all of this out while also helping your company attract and retain top talent. So by contributing towards all or a portion of your commuter expenses, your organization is showing their investment into their employees and what they provide to your business. And that's been a really big trend that we've seen throughout these 2 years, is that employee satisfaction and that their organization, that your business is showing an interest in them is really important. But after all, when your staff is worried about commuting logistics and expenses, their day-to-day lives and stress levels are negatively impacted, and that will hurt your productivity and retention in the workplace. People are much more efficient when they don't have to factor in commuting into their daily routines. I know I have been. And so it'll probably be hard pressed to find a person jumping at the bit to get back into their car and committing 2 hours a day to driving to and from the office. So offering competitive benefits and hybrid work schedule to minimize the cost and time your employees are spending on the road and in the parking garage is vital at this point. This leads us to trends, and that's where we've been seeing both maintain and during the pandemic and those that are new and here to stay. So in Arlington County, there's been a consistent trend before and during this pandemic that the number of employers offering a direct transit benefit is higher than pre-tax. That's because employers here understand the competitive market that is Arlington and the DMV area. And so we've also seen an increase, so you may want to consider switching to a combination or pre-tax and direct benefit to the direct benefit ones. So we can all, provide more for our employees. We've also seen an increase consistently throughout the pandemic of those interested in biking. So many of our clients are looking into hosting bike events, offering bike fleets, or even including bike benefits in their commuter benefits package. Because the normal pre-tax direct benefit doesn't include biking benefits this year, you will have to consider doing through either a direct benefit to biking or through the capital bike share, which is something that you can also discuss with your ATP rep. So with revamping HR policies, ATP offers a wide range of services to revamp HR policies and commuting benefits and hybrid work schedules. We also include positions that and tasks that would help qualify people for hybrid or remote work schedule, and those that are essential for the workplace. ATP will also help you keep up to date on new policy requirements or updates to the transit benefits, similar to what I was talking about previously with the IRS and the amount of money that you can offer pre-tax / direct. And when working with your ATP rep, they can also provide you with policy samples, consultation on your current policies, and even conduct management training for team leaders whose teams are operating under a hybrid workplace model. So they get comfortable, especially if you have a new manager, get comfortable with this different work schedule and be really efficient with your teams. And finally, promotions and events. From pre-made promotion materials to virtual and in-person events, and even coordination of events between employers and service providers, ATP can offer it all. Some events that have taken place this year or scheduled for some of our clients include ice cream social, bike events, and as I mentioned at the beginning, a webinar on the yellow blue line shutdown to individual companies' employees, so we can share information to those that will directly be impacted. And we will coordinate with service providers like those who companies who provide the ice cream and the scoopers for the ice cream social, or even the companies that offer mobile bike shops and mechanics for bike events. We will help to provide promotion materials so your employees know about this, these new events coming up, and the effort that you're putting in to encourage their, increase their satisfaction and productivity. And we will also help to continue to spread the information on updates in the regional transit system, especially as the yellow blue line construction project continues for a couple of months. So with all of these resources available, ATP is a one-stop shop for revamping your commuter benefits programs to match today's trends and expectations, while also achieving leadership goals for productivity, efficiency, and retention, and most importantly, the happiness and health of your team members. So I will now pass it on to Pinky to go over our customized resources.
Thank you, Katie. Thank you, Al, for sharing all the information about smart benefits, and Katie for providing us, some tips and to restart our commuter programs. As we all know, that offering a competitive commuter benefit program is definitely a great low-cost way to enhance employee retention and recruitment, because we do know that the cost of hiring a new employee far exceeds the cost to retain an employee, as well as today's employees are looking for a workplace that really offers a work-life balance and a robust commuter benefits package. So we just, at ATP are here to help you with that, to help you enhance your commuter benefits program, the overall program, to help you, assist you with enhancing your employee retention and recruitment. So some of our customized services include, I know Katie touched on some of these things in the previous slide, but I just thought I would, highlight some of them again. So we can offer free commuter benefits assessment. We can also offer you customized guides such as the telework management guide, flexible workplace guide, or a van pool formation guides to promote all these programs at your work site, so that your employees can take advantage of all these programs. We can also assist you with implementing a capital bike share corporate membership program. If you have a lot of employees who would be interested in taking the advantage of this, we can help you with that, because definitely the employees save money on your annual membership. For example, an annual capital bike share membership is $85, but under the corporate program, you can come down, bring it down to $50 a year. And of course, while we offering all these solutions to you, help you implement and enhance these programs. We will help you to market these programs and increase enrollment on these programs as commuter benefits or capital bike share to your employees through either an online webinar specifically for your employees, or we can participate in events, or just specifically for your employees, or like Katie mentioned, like sometimes doing an ice cream social. So, kind of have an informal tabling event where we would be present, and share that information to your employees, happy to participate in your onboarding meetings or all hand meetings, because we know these days, since the pandemic, the trend has been some, hybrid events too, like some people are more open about having in-person event or virtual events. So ATP can customize, our offerings to cater to you to see what suits you best. And then lastly, as Katie touched on this earlier about the employee commute survey, this is a great way, to really understand if your employees are really aware of the benefits that you are offering and what kind of benefits do they want to see. So before you decide to implement or change or enhance any policy of yours, it's always nice to hear from your employees whether, number one, are they aware of the benefits that you are offering? And number two, what is it that they want you to give priority to enhancing? So with doing a survey with ATP, essentially we take all the heavy lifting. So we would work with you, on the survey questions and deploying the survey to your employees. And then, we would work with, in the end, like getting a whole report done and sharing that with you. And then lastly, going back to events, I wanted to just specifically mention with the upcoming blue and yellow line shutdown, we do have a lot of information posted on our website too. So feel free to visit our website about the Metro shutdown. And if you are interested in hosting a customized event specifically around the shutdown, where we would be addressing all the commuting options available, it's all on WMATA website too, so which Al shared. So we have that resource too, because WMATA will be updating all the changes and most up-to-date information. So we can definitely have an event at your work site and share information about commuting options and what's happening, during the shutdown. And also, if employees are interested, we are happy to provide customized commute planners for your employees. So definitely reach out to us. The best part is working with us is at no cost. It's a complimentary service that we provide specifically to Arlington County employers. So if you are an employer, like most of you are on this webinar today, an employer in Arlington County, work with us. If you're all, I know most of you are already working with us, but those who are new and have not worked with us, give us a chance to help you create a robust commuter benefits program. And with that, right now, we'll open it up for questions. So if you have any questions for either for Katie and me at ATP, or questions for Al, feel free to post it in the chat, and we'll definitely be answering those.
I think I saw someone's hands raised too. So if you feel comfortable speaking, you're more than welcome. Gerald McQueen, do you want to? I see you're unmuted, but I don't think we can hear you. So Gerald, if you want to write your question in the chat, we can answer it there. But I do see one, which I'll just read out loud. How does the state/city monitor the Commute 66 plan? This is a great question, and I will happy to answer that for you. Hi. And so I apologize if I said your name.
It's Heike. It's fine.
Heike. Thank you for that. I appreciate it.
No problem. I'm used to that one.
No worries. So this is a great question. So we're Commute 66, works with the employer and the employee. So we both ask the employee to report monthly on how many times they do go into the office in their sustainable commute option, which are van pool, carpool, public transit, walking, or biking. The Commute 66 reps also help those individuals find those preferred sustainable options that work best with people and their schedule. And then we also ask them to give up any parking pass or parking benefit. And this is where we can check in with the employer to see if they're also continuing, if they're continuing to use their parking benefit or parking pass, then they wouldn't receive their monthly $100 incentive. But they gave it up and they have committed to going into the office via their sustainable option 8 days out of the month, then they will receive their $100. So it's a bit of, trusting the individual that is commuting, but also still having that backup plan and able to, just make sure that people are understanding the full commitment of choosing the sustainable option and receiving this financial incentive.
Got it.
Yeah.
Thank you. That helps.
Absolutely.
Hey, Katie?
Yes, I think I heard someone.
Yes, I think my mic is working now.
Perfect. Yes, it is.
I had a question for Mr. Watson.
Absolutely. Go for it.
Thank you, Mr. Watson, for being here this morning. Just a question regarding your unclaimed benefits report and the categories. On our unclaimed benefits report that we have to submit to finance each month, it has a list of employees that have left the company for years, but they're still on the report. Is there any way of clearing off old employees from that report?
Yes, what you can do is that's money that's on that report that is there as rollover benefits, and it could be months or like you said, years. To clear that money off, that basically employee smart chip card, you'd have to go into that employee's name, which is probably removed on hold, and retrieve the benefits off the card. When you do that, if you did that this month in August, you'll get a credit next month in September. That means with the report that you received for August, it's going to show you received the August report in September. It'll show that you got a credit and you retrieve the benefits, and that employee's name won't show up on your report. What was your other question?
Regarding the categories, is there any way to delete old categories?
You can't delete the categories, but you can make them not eligible. So if you want to clean up those categories, you just go into your account, click on program management benefit category, click on the category type, and then just click not eligible and then click save. It'll move that category from eligible to not eligible, so you won't see it.
Perfect. I appreciate your answers. Thank you.
Sure. You're very welcome.
Thanks, Katie.
Thank you. Yeah. Just to continue on the chat, I do see that Al has a question for, or Alan has a question for Al. Excuse me, Alan. And Tony, we did not forget about you. I just want to pop this over to Al just to continue that. But Al, is there a time frame that we are keeping to allow those older employees to keep those funds?
I'm going to assume that you mean to keep the funds, meaning rollover. There is no time frame. I've seen benefits on employee smart chip card rollover benefits from 2012. And I believe it was 2011 when we first started the rollover. So there is no time frame. They could stay there as far back as they first started receiving benefits. So it's up to you to manage that by going to your benefits claim report. And if you see an employee with benefits that go back to a far number of years and you want to retrieve it, like I just told the previous gentleman, you can retrieve it, but they will stay there forever. There is no time limit that we've set here at Metro.
All right, perfect. And Tony, for your question, there were special rates for the bike program during previous events. Will this happen again? And I believe you're asking about the ATP special rate for the 250 coverage of bike events. This is something that is happening this year. And so that is the one that's most recent. We do offer this for employers and commercial properties who are interested in working with us to coordinate a bike event and also sign up for champions if you're not currently enrolled in it. And we can help both coordinate the event and offer a $250 credit. We do have a limited number of options though. So if you're interested in this, it's better to get started sooner than later with your employer or with your ATP rep. And so I know that there are some commercial properties on here as well. So Eduardo is your ATP rep, but if you don't have his contact information, we can always connect you. And so while we are still available for questions, I just wanted to put our contact information.
Hey, Tony, I'm guessing it's Tony Saba, right, with MTB and Early Learning Center. So Tony, there are two, I can follow up with you on the side about the question that you just asked, but I just wanted to say, like, yes, there is a bike tune-up event that Katie mentioned, but also about the Capital Bike Share Corporate Program, where employees can receive discount on annual membership. And then I can just send you an email after our webinar. I'll send you a private email and then we can chat more about it.
Okay, thank you very much. Yes,
Mhm.
I unmuted my microphone because I was saying thank you for the answer and no one was acknowledging me, but I guess it was.
Oh, no worries. Yeah, we're not ignoring you. We just want to make sure that, we address your questions too. And then, I will definitely, like I said, I'll follow up. So I think that brings us to the end of our webinar. So I just wanted to thank everybody for attending today's webinar. We hope you had enjoyed the webinar and had some good takeaways from our webinar. Please don't hesitate to contact us with any questions that you may have. Katie and my contact information is listed up. We had also posted Al's contact information on the chat. And if you need to reach out to Al at WMATA, feel free to reach out to us and we can direct you to him. I just wanted to also say that we are going to be sending a survey via email and would love to hear some feedback. And we, of course, look forward to working with everyone in implementing and enhancing commuter benefits at your website to make commuting easy for your employees. And with that, we shall end our webinar today and have a wonderful week, everybody.
Thank you for joining us, everyone.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks, Al.